Hey Budget Besties, welcome back to the channel. I'm Shawnee and I'm sharing my journey to financial freedom $1 at a time. Around here, we don't compare, we don't judge, we just mind our money and keep it real. If you want to support the channel, go ahead and tap that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe. It's a free way to help other people find this space. In today's video, we're going to be doing something different than we've been doing so far. We're going to take this $140 here and we're going to stuff it into this binder that I have not introduced on the channel yet. So this binder here is my freedom binder. And so to explain my freedom binder, I am trying to come up with ways to buy my freedom back. And freedom looks differently for everybody. For me, it's just trying to get out of this student loan debt. If I get a chance, I'll go ahead and show you at the top of the video somewhere what they claim I owe in student loan debt. I also, if I can find it, I will show you what they think I need to pay in student loan debt. And so that's where I really am with that, okay? So I allegedly owe $137,000 in student loan debt. But take into account that I have an undergraduate and a master's degree in nursing. And also, they do student loan debt so funny. You make a payment and then you end up owing more after you make payments. So whatever. So they think I'm supposed to pay close to $3,000 a month. Right now, I am in an administrative forbearance. Hopefully, it lasts as long as they claim because right now I really want to focus on other things. And just for reference for me, when it comes to my student loan debt, I do have an account that is labeled Freedom in my SoFi high yield account. And that money is the vast majority of the money that I used to have going into that account to pay off my car. My car is now paid off. And so I do have a certain amount of money that has been going into that account to buy back freedom. When I pay off some other things like credit cards and things like that, I will up how much comes out of my check, but I also want to do extra things on the side. This is the only thing in my life, and we all have different financial journeys. This is the one thing that intimidates me. This is the one thing that I feel like, is so hard. And so this dashboard here means the world to me because it's a reminder like nothing is impossible, okay? And so when I look at this, I know like it may seem like I'm so far from my goal, but one day I'm going to get through this, okay? And so let's get started. If I can remember, I will also show you where I am with how much I do have in my freedom account. But I do have like these envelopes to kind of help me. For the most part, I am pretty plain Jane when it comes to like the cash stuffing. This is the only thing that I need something fun and cute to do because I can easily just get not motivated with this. So that's where I am with this, okay? So I just have a bunch of cute little colorful savings challenges that I found from different creators, and that's what I'm going to be using over time. So that's where we are. So we're going to go ahead and start with this first challenge, and it is in here. And this challenge, I got this from Angie's Finances, but I do believe this was a part of like, I guess a big group. They all created different challenges. So it's 5 others that go with this. And so it says you can't sit with us. And I'm letting my dad know you can't sit with me no more. I'm trying to get you out my life.com.org.net. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. So we're going to go ahead and add its first $10 to this. And I know this seems so small, but I have to tell myself that, listen, we got to start somewhere, right? I think in my freedom account, and I'm going to have to double check, I think I have somewhere close to $2,000. I don't think it's exactly $2,000. That is nowhere near, what I need to pay it off. But I'm going to take this time wisely with this administrative forbearance and work on other debts so that I can add more to this. In a perfect world, I would prefer to use this money to pay off my home, but I feel like I can't do too much if I have this debt because this debt right here, the monthly payment being more than what I pay in my mortgage is wild to me. So that's where I am with this. This next challenge also came in this set. So this is the second one and it's called Boo You Whore. And I'm not calling you all this, okay? This is just what this is. And I'm going to add $10 to this as well. And it'll be our first $10 that we do. And we're going to do, I can't go out, I'm sick. And so when it comes to debt, sometimes people don't respect your journey and they don't understand, like, girl, I can't spend money. Like, I'm trying to do things. And people always want to tell you, well, you can spend money this one time. I see it similar when you're trying to like be on a good, healthy journey where you can eat bad one time. So no, this is me saying, no, I can't go nowhere with you all. Okay. Like, I got stuff to do today. Okay. All right. I can't get this up in here. Oh, Lord. Okay. And me also sharing this part of my journey is just me telling myself and reminding myself, like, girl, you can get through this. And when I do get through it, I feel like in real time, or maybe even after I have conquered this, whether they say you don't have to pay us any money or I come up with the money and pay it off myself, it's letting other people know that you can do all things. Like, nothing is impossible. You just have to just do the work. There are levels to each journey. So the next one is she doesn't go here, and we're going to check off this $10 or this $10 spot here. And I checked off, I wish we could get all along like we used to. So I'm going to take this $10. It's the first 10 for this. And again, I'm only doing this because this is the only thing in my life as far as like, you know, cash stuffing that I needed to be fun, because student loans have been the most discouraging thing in my life. And I just feel like education should be free. You know, they shouldn't be charging students all this interest. I don't even really get it, honestly, why they do that to students fresh out of high school. So next is the Army Pants ones. And we're going to add $10 to this as well. I see it this way. It's kind of like, why are you all so quick to give teenagers out of high school loans that high? You know, you don't know too much as a teenager. And it's like this, like, nobody is going to give a teenager straight out of high school a loan for a car. Nobody's going to give a teenager straight out of high school a mortgage, you know, but they are okay with loaning out all this money to students. And nursing education was expensive. Okay. I had a book that cost $500, and that's just ridiculous. Okay. So the next one is this let's see. It's called You Go. And so we're going to add 15. Yeah, I just think that's just so predatory for them to say, like, hey, we won't give you money for these other things, but we definitely can give you all this money for student loan debt. So I just find it to be so crazy. And on top of that, we're going to charge you all this interest so that you never pay it back. So that's how I see it. I just wish, you know, they would make education more obtainable. I remember when I had went off to college, one, I didn't know I was going to need student loan debt. I just didn't understand the process anyway. I just figured you fill out financial aid. You know, I had a bunch of grants. I had some small scholarships, and it wasn't enough. And my poor mom, she tried to do the Parent Plus loan. Guess what? Her credit could not, you know, give me the money I needed for college. And so guess what we're going to do? We don't want mama. We want that fresh meat over there. And I just thinking about adult me, because 17, 18-year-old me, I wasn't an adult. You know, I was a young adult, but I just find it to just be so sad that they do this to students. But hopefully in the future, they won't do this anymore. So the next one is called Get In, Loser, We're Going Shopping. And in this one, I am going to add $10. Yeah, so when all this is over, I'm going to get in and I'm going shopping, okay? If you're watching this, do you have student loan debt? Do you know somebody with student loan debt? How is that going for them? Are they almost done paying it off? Are they struggling? You know, and I don't even understand how they calculate how much you owe, considering that the price of everything is so high. It's like the cost of living keeps rising, the rate of pay doesn't, and the rate of payment that they want for student loans to be paid off. Or let me revert that. The rate of the pay that they want you to pay for your student loan debt does not even match what the economy looks like right now. So I don't even understand like how they go about that. All right. This next one is from a different shop. I have to remind myself. So this is the sticky note, and I got this from I'm So Budget. If anybody sees hers, let her know, like, hey girl, hey, I like this. It's cute. Okay. For this sticky note one, I'm gonna also add $15 here. And I'm just going to scratch it off. Yeah, student loan debt. Anybody who's going through that, I wish you all the well. I used to kind of at one point, and this is why I say in my intro, we don't compare and we don't judge. I used to be so envious of people that say, I got 30,000 and they were complaining, and I'm like, I don't understand it. Like, why are you complaining? Like 30 grand. I mean, that's it. But that 30 grand may be putting them in a hole just as much as I feel like my 130,000. And I am just so determined that I am not going to take this with me everywhere. I also have been debating, and I need to do a little bit more research. I also have been debating, like, once they say, okay, administrative forbearance is over, hopefully by then I would have caught up with paying other things off first. But I'm debating on if I want to remove my loans from the Department of Education, because although I did apply for forgiveness, I feel like they cheated me. They were like, yeah, we'll give you half the time. And I've been a nurse almost, I think it's 14 years, almost 15 years. And they didn't want to give me all that time and dedication and the sacrifice and the lack of, pay at the bedside that you get. They didn't want to give me credit for everything. They said, we'll give you half the credit. And I couldn't do that any longer. And in my current, career field, I am still working as a nurse, but I work from home, and it does not qualify under the forgiveness, which I feel like, why does it matter? Because if I'm doing nursing things, just give me my credit. Like, who cares if it's a not-for-profit or for-profit? Like, who cares? You know what I mean? So because of that, I have just been debating on if I want to remove my loans away from the Department of Education eventually. I don't know. I want to see how things are going to go first. But I'm considering refinancing it. That way, when I do make payments, I will be able to, one, make payments toward the principal. And two, when I make a payment, it actually goes down and not up. So, and three, having a lower interest rate will be great as well too. So that's how I'm kind of looking at it. I hope I'm not making this video too long. I'm kind of struggling a little bit more with these envelopes than I had originally expected to. So, yeah. This is called the to-do list. This is also from I'm So Budget. And in this one, I want to add $15 to this as well. And I get, doing these little challenges once won't pay my loans off. I'm going to do it more than once, but this is the only type of, I got a crumb on my hand. This is the only type of challenge that, this is the only area, in my financial journey where I feel like I need something small, cute, and fun to do, because you all have seen me say, hey, I'm okay taking my time with the 100 envelope challenge, the 52-week challenge, all of that. So, yeah. So, I'm looking for a 15. It's one right here. And again, I'm like a plain Jane. Like, I'm not into like all the cutesy stuff or whatever. I don't have to have it, but this is the only area that I feel like I have to have it, because I get so unmotivated with this student loan stuff. And I go into more detail about my financial journey as a whole on my YouTube version of a podcast. And I was posting them on I was posting them on Thursdays. Thursdays really are not working for me, so I'm going to do it on Monday. And so I figured, Monday's a good day. People start their week. A lot of people dread going to work on Monday. Or maybe they had a long weekend and, they party too hard. So I'm going to do it on Monday. And I told myself, I just call it my Monday motivation for people to say, like, hey, you may see me doing a 100 envelope challenge. You may see me stuff my envelopes effortlessly, but I'm not perfect. I want you to know, like, I started from somewhere too. I didn't just always start being able to stuff or do things the way I want to do. I'm just in a position where I'm brave enough to share my journey. So brain dump I also got from I'm So Budgets. I'm gonna take this off and we're gonna add $10. And so listening, if you're interested in understanding my journey, my version of a podcast on YouTube, which I initially wanted to put it on all platforms, maybe later on, but it's just letting you know like where my journey with money started, you know, where has it gone before. My relationship with money has been so up and down, round and round, upside down, all of that. And at some point I will touch on my part of my journey with student loan debt, because I have had so much craziness with student loan debt. Fun fact though, with my student loan debt, the only reason I have a master's degree in nursing, which actually benefits me now, but was because I was trying to get my student loan debt lowered some years ago, and the lady told me I can't make your monthly payment lower than what it is. It was like $800 then. I told you all I could. If you listen to my podcast, I was explaining how I couldn't afford my rent back in the day, and the lady said you could either have a baby or you can go back to school. And I chose to go back to school. So I also got this from I'm So Budget, and it's her emergency fund challenge for 1K. For me, this is a 911 emergency, getting me out of this student loan crisis. So I am going to add to this $10 as well. So we're going to take this $10 bill here. And we'll take off this first one right here. So yeah, that lady said you can either have a baby, and I'm like, I ain't the type of girl that's just gonna be having a baby just to, you know, get a lower payment. I'm just gonna go back to school, and it actually was the best idea ever, because I've been in positions to have some great career opportunities, and I also learned so much as a professional. You know, my master's degree was actually easier for me to go to school to do than my undergraduate. So if you know anybody, or if you've ever been in nursing school, you understand the struggle with that. Okay, and last but not least, in this one is this roll the dice that I'm going to do. I believe I got this from the Millennial Dollar a while ago. I've never even used this before. I'm going to have to use a wet erase one for this one. I ain't the type of girl that's going to be rolling no dice. I'm sorry. I'm too lazy. I'm not going to keep up with no dice, because if I have it today, I might not have it next week. So I just asked ChatGPT to pick numbers in increments of 5, and it chose 15. And that's what we're leaning and rocking with, okay? So to do 15, let's do 5. 10 and 15. All right, so that was the very last one. I want to just let anybody know, even if you don't have student loan debt and you have, you know, areas in your life where you want to buy your freedom back, whether it's in one big category or a bunch of small or medium-sized categories, start today. I mean, it can't hurt to try. You know, you never know until you try, okay? Freedom for me means getting away from student loan debt. Considering that I cannot sell my education back to these people, I cannot say, hey, can I get a refund? I'm going to have to figure it out, okay? And that's that with that. So that's the end of this video. I know this is different from what I've been doing, but this is a part of my journey. And most people probably cannot relate to this, and some probably can, okay? But if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you for real. So go ahead and tap that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because it's a free way to show me some love and help the channel to grow. If you missed any previous videos, no worries. Links will be in the description and up in the card somewhere throughout the video. I'll be back next week for another catch up video. And don't forget, my YouTube version of my podcast drops on Mondays. If you need some Monday motivation and you want to get all the tea on how the girl got here today, go ahead and check that out every Monday. But until next time, keep minding your money $1 at a time. I'm clocking out. Peace.